Oh, we're live? Hey, sorry. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Mint City Soccer Show live. As you can tell from my wonderful intro just a second ago of saying, oh, we're live. But we're here in Hopfly in Charlotte, North Carolina. As you could probably hear from the wonderful noise and the music and the liveliness of this venue right now. But I'm David Gusler. I'm one of your hosts here with my good friend, Matt Swift.
Hello, everybody.
It is a lively night, and we have our producer extraordinaire behind the scenes right now, probably pushing too many buttons to say too much, but Corey Inscoe is here behind the scenes helping us out here. But Matt, Corey, it has been a long, long time since we've been able to do a live show like this in some kind of capacity, right? But almost a year now, actually, I think.
Yeah, it's good to get back to our roots. When we first started doing these shows, we're at breweries and all types of things were going on around us. Double dates and Magic the Gathering tournaments. So I feel right at home with this. This is an amazing turnout. Lots of people here, lots of vendors, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's good to kick the season off.
Yeah, it's like bringing us back to our roots a little bit. Back when we shared one microphone at a table in Salud, and here we are. Look how fancy we are now. I mean, we got headsets. We were making jokes earlier that it felt like we were on like WFNZ with Will and calling plays and yelling goals, but we're not that good, trust me. But this is an awesome turnout. So if you guys aren't here at Hopfly, definitely missing out. But don't fret, we're here to kick you off before the 2025 season, and Charlotte takes on the Seattle Sounders here today. But we've got some pretty cool stuff going on. I think we got a little guest here that's ready to come on.
I think.
So before we start talking about anything else about soccer related, we got the man of the hour here. You're gonna sit right here, buddy. You're gonna come join the show. We're gonna get you a microphone and some headphones. I'm gonna filibuster here for a second while we're doing this, but
yeah,
but that's our camera right there, Chico. Right? What's
for the crowd, baby.
So Corey, our producer extraordinaire, is gonna give you a headset and a headphone here in just a second here. But there we go. So. Man, this is a heck of a turnout. This is awesome. We get to hang out with Chico.
Yeah, I mean, we went out and tried to find the ugliest person that we could get on the show, and I've got a lot of questions for Chico. Chico, can you hear us? All right,
We'll still filibuster here for a second. So try to say something again here for a second, Chico. Nothing yet. So no, we wanted to really put you in a spot here as the man of the hour and get the microphone not working quite yet. But hey,
yeah, so for those that don't know, Chico is actually launching a beer tonight. It's called Extra Time. Don't know why he gets a beer. Maybe he's important. I don't know. But definitely want to give him a lot of crap when he gets on. He's only listened to 3 of our episodes. Two episodes. Oh, now he can hear.
Now he can
hear. Now he can hear. Okay.
What's up, guys?
It's funny how he could hear right when I said that.
Good.
So, Chico, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome, man.
Well, thank y'all for inviting me for the first time in 3-4 years or something like that.
So you've listened to 2 episodes out of the 140 something that we've done.
I mean, people have jobs to do. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you're having your beer launch tonight.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, how it came about, and why do you get a beer? Why are you so important?
Why are you special?
Why am I special? First of all, I'm not special, no.
Well, he's special in a different way. No, so tell us about the beer.
Yeah.
Well, I've been sober for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I thought about what I used to do is drink a lot of beer. And I said, why not make a beer for people to drink?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You actually don't drink.
No, I don't.
But you want to make sure that people like us can enjoy.
Yeah, so you can enjoy it. I don't want you to pass out with one beer. I want something light so you continue to purchase them.
Hey. So now we found the real motivation of why Chico wants the beer. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
Well, I can't say much.
I can tell you this right now, man. This is my first one I'm having, and it is quite delicious here. So Hopfly made this for you?
Yes.
That's awesome, man. So what a heck of a
So you
partnership.
didn't make it. I think
No,
Chico
no,
like to pretend like he made it.
No. Hopfly made it. All they did is use my image.
Oh,
I'm working.
so the likeness, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the likeness. or the specialness of me.
I gotta say, and I hate to admit this, it is good.
It is.
Is it better than whatever else you drink?
I drink bourbon, but yes.
It's better, right?
Yeah, no,
Better.
this is good, and you're right. You need a beer that you can crush at a tailgate.
Yeah. Even at home while you turn the grass.
That's right.
So, we got beer to go too, guys.
Yeah. Well, you know what's great though is that this is going to be the perfect beer for those summer tailgates at the stadium and everything like that, because like you said, it is I don't want to say crushable, but it is a very easy drinking beer, and it's not too heavy, right? So
Sure.
I'm excited for it, man. But yeah, thanks for inviting us here. We actually get to do a show here with you, and I know I sent you a message earlier. I'm excited that you actually get to listen to 2 episodes now. So the one way early on, and then this one because we know you're going to listen to it now that you're on the show.
That's right.
I might.
You might.
We'll see. We'll see. No, seriously, thank y'all for coming out here.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for being part of this event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked earlier, off air. What away games are you going to try to do this year?
Working on Kansas City,
Awesome.
Atlanta. It's always DC, Nashville,
Yeah.
and maybe Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know a lot of people are asking why you weren't in Seattle tonight, but the reason is because you're here with this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm here with y'all at y'all show. If I wouldn't have been here, y'all wouldn't have invited me ever again, so I got to show up. Even if it's 5 minutes.
That would have been the total Chico thing to do, is to have a beer launch and a party, and then Chico would not be here and he's on TV. That would have been amazing.
That's right. That's about right. So also, you and I got tattoos earlier.
Oh,
So if you didn't know,
American tattoos.
oh. Same place too.
no.
You got to learn from Chico.
I love that you both had to pause for half a second and think about that and be like, wait a second, did we get it in the same place or not?
So this is the second time that we've got matching tattoos together.
Yeah.
The first time we got Mint City, and we got these in St. Louis.
St. Louis, yes, sir.
And so tonight we have someone that's setting up doing tattoos. Who's
Ray Tattoos?
Yeah. So we both got the attendance where we broke the record. So got that on my arm here. You got it on there. So yeah, this is amazing. There's a drone being flown around. There's like fog and smoke, and there's
DJ
like
in the
all
background.
these vendors and everything. So it's a great night. I think it kind of shows. I hate to admit this, but you're a pretty great dude. I've got
You
to
are.
know you over the past couple years. And
This is being recorded, right?
It is. It's
Okay,
live.
cool. I need that piece.
It's broadcasting across all the countries here for us
Yeah.
right now,
Thank y'all.
Chico.
I know. I hate to admit it. I hate to
Y'all
admit it.
Right here.
I know.
Keep going. I'm liking this. Keep going.
It pains me to say it. So, but it's a great turnout.
Yeah.
You do a lot for the community. You're really great with kids, and it's an honor to be here with you to celebrate your beer launch and everything like that. And it's actually good.
So Chico, since we're here for a party to celebrate you, right? But also we're here to watch Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot or anything like that, but what do you think about tonight? We're gonna win
We're gonna win 3-1.
3-1. Okay. All right. I think Swift said 2-1 on our preview episode earlier in the
Well,
week.
I said 2-2.
2-2. Sorry.
But now I might be on the win win
Earlier,
fence.
yeah, you did tell me 2-2. Then 30 minutes later, 2-1.
I get so excited. I can't like go against my team.
And then
But,
after the game, he's gonna give me the correct score. Oh, I said 3-2.
Yeah, see.
That's
Well,
how
see,
it goes.
the good news is this is on record, Chico. So then that way, if he does try to backtrack,
That's true.
we can hold his feet to the fire a little bit.
I hope so.
So, some really cool other vendors here too. I know we got the tattoo vendor here. You with your beer launch. I know Mint City Collective has a table over here, and
Hooligans.
Hooligans. Oh, Hooligans is here too. I didn't even see them, man. That's awesome.
Carolina Hooligans. We got Glory Days here.
Yep.
Top Ben 90. He's here. He's selling new merch. He's down the way here. So I mean, it's a really like cool turnout.
Yeah, it's almost like the supporter lot tailgate, like not at the tailgate lot. This is awesome.
And there's a DJ. Clearly, you can hear the DJ in the background.
That's my car.
That's last call for you. You're being summoned for other. No,
Chico, last episode we talked about how we all think we're gonna finish in the league. Do you have a prediction of where we're gonna finish?
I would say top 4.
Top four?
Top
Okay.
four. We have
I
to
like
be
it.
top four.
I like it.
So I'm glad you said that because Swift got very angry on the last episode because some quote unquote experts predicted us to be like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, etc. But obviously you know what you're talking about because you were able to say top four.
That's
right.
And that's what Swift said as well.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Let them talk. Let them put us down top, bottom 8, not even qualify. That's the same way they did last year.
Yeah.
And what did we do? What these guys showed up at the end. I mean, at the end of the day, Charlotte City's going to be on top.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, hey, man, really do appreciate you, everything that you do. I mean, honestly, like Swift said, appreciate everything you do in the community. Like, you're always at Charlotte FC games. You're great with fans, great with kids, great with supporters. Like, you're just an amazing individual. So thanks for helping instill this culture here within Charlotte, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here.
All right. Now, Chico paid me to say all that, so you're good.
Oh, Lord. Thank y'all very much.
Hey,
Thank
appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. So, I mean, yeah, this is it's a hell of a turnout, man.
It's awesome. This is awesome. Yeah.
So we are live here again, like we talked about here, guys. You know, we're on YouTube, so we see the chat here going on. So if you've got questions for us here to answer this during this pregame, this kickoff show, we see Russell Varner already in the chat, loves the flag behind us.
Hey, Rusty.
What's up, Rusty? So, yeah, I mean, if you guys have questions for us, make sure you drop them in the chat. If you're in our Discord, drop it in our Discord as well. We'll answer them live here. But we might have some more special guests roll through here.
I think so, yeah.
But we're obviously here to talk a little bit about Charlotte FC a little bit tonight. So, Swift, not to be the bearer of bad news and kick this show off with some bad news for Charlotte fans, but it was actually reported earlier by our friend Jorge over there in Top Ben 90 that Wilfred Zaha did not travel with Charlotte FC today because I think they're expecting a child. So totally makes sense. It's not like it's a bad thing or anything like that. But so that's definitely going to affect maybe some of our predictions from the other night, right?
Maybe a little bit. And you know, the thing is like, I guess if he's going to miss a game, first one on the road, so maybe he can get a run out at home. So, you know, I think I said draw earlier. I did get super excited when I was getting a tattoo and say we're going to win, but it may be a draw. So I'm kind of going back and forth.
In Swift's defense, the news broke about Zaha not traveling with the team while he was in the tattoo chair.
That's right.
So
That's right.
when he said that we're going to win, he was mid-tattoo and he couldn't look at his phone. So then after the tattoo happened,
I got sentimental. I was looking at my tattoo and the attendance record. I was like, "Nah, we're gonna freaking win. We're gonna win." But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So Russell says, "I'm mad I can't be there, but please have some beers for me." Russ,
we're
we
also
definitely
mad
will.
you're not here.
We're very disappointed in anybody that you're not here as well. But you know, can't hear you. Sorry, Corey. But yeah, so Corey, producer extraordinaire, is still having a little bit of filibuster moment here just for a second as we get this going. But
Russell has a good excuse that he's not here, though.
He does.
Hello.
Hey, there you go.
I was just saying, Russell, we are definitely enjoying the beers, so we got you, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Well, I mean, this is my first time at Hopfly, man. This is
Great space.
really
spot.
really good spot. Really big venue. Smells like beer and yeast, which is exciting to me.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, there's we see Miami is in the background right now. Messi and them have a red card. I don't know if it's Messi that's got a red card. That'd be great. But no, I'm just joking.
That'd be great.
But let's go back to the Zaha. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Zaha's going to be out for this game. That is a good point, like you talked about. At least now, potentially next week will be his first run out at home in Charlotte, which will be even greater, right, from that perspective, right? But what do you think Dean does now with the starting lineup? Because that does leave a little bit of a hole. I don't know if fans saw this earlier in the week or not, but Cambridge is also going to be potentially out. Kind of alluded to some kind of injury. I don't want to speculate or anything like that from that point of view, but it sounds like he might be out. So now you've got Tavares, Corey Vargas as potentially as starting wingers. But what do you think Dean does in this game now against Seattle?
Well, we talked last episode. I wasn't sure how defensive minded he was going to be, like in the middle of the field. But now I think, we talked about Kerwin Vargas too. Here's your opportunity. They bring in Zaha, and clearly he's going to be our starter. But this is your time to show, like, hey, I'm going to be in the mix. So I would think that he would start tonight, and he needs to do something to say and stake a claim, like, this is not going to be easy. And we just, we want all of our players to get off to a good start. We want all of our players to produce, even if they are coming off the bench. I know everybody wants to start, but tonight is a good opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, Corey, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. But yeah, I think Cohen Vargas has a perfect opportunity to show that, hey, I'm still starter potential. I can fill in as needed and be a great rotational player for us. And Dean's shown that he's given the ability to be flexible throughout the season. So who knows, right? If he has a good showing tonight, could continue to get more minutes, continue to play more. I'm interested now. I think, personally speaking, I think we're going to switch back to what we saw in the back half of the season last year. Because you don't have Zaha playing, you might have Abada start on one side, and then you have Corwin Vargas on the other, or you might see Pep Biel kind of get some minutes here at wing later tonight as well. But it kind of paves the way for our boy Brant. Always getting minutes, always getting a way in there, right? So
I was going to say that's what Russell put in the chat here is it allows Dino to go with his Dream Destroyer midfield lineup with Williamson, Westwood, and Bronico.
There's been a lot of debate, and a lot of people are saying, and Vaughn, we had Vaughn on the show, and he was saying he thinks Williamson's going to be the starter over Brant. I'm very curious, though.
Yeah.
I got to go with my dude, Bronico. But it makes sense what he said, though, against a familiar opponent.
Yeah.
Williamson plays, has played them often. So just it's hard for me to go against our guy. But before we go any further, can we talk about how just GD sexy these kits are?
I don't know if I would say
They're
that.
the best.
Corey, you're a big
They're
fan?
amazing.
Yeah, right? It's weird that I'm doing this, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keep going. Hold on. Do it again.
No, oh, boy.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the clip for
You're right in there.
That's the clip for socials later, right
So,
there.
I mean, if people that don't know, I have the secondary logo here. Like, I love that they went with this.
Yeah.
There are people looking at me like rubbing myself. Sorry. I know.
This is not a kid's show. I'm sorry.
And they can't hear what's happening, so they just see you rub yourself, which makes it even better.
Corey, not to put you on the spot, but if we ever go back and edit this video or something like that, you need to get the guy from The Water Boy, where he's just sitting here like this, and then put that next to Swift.
I'm going to tell you now, this is not getting edited.
Okay, that's fair. But I mean, I
love this kid.
I love him.
Yeah. I mean, so it's funny. So you have the secondary logo on you.
Yeah.
I have the secondary logo. It's on my leg. I'm not going to prop my leg up on the table here or anything like that. Corey is the only one that doesn't have the logo that's on this show tattooed.
There's a tattoo artist right over there.
Just no. It's not happening tonight. So I'm not saying it's not happening ever, but it's definitely not happening tonight.
So let me ask you this. Would you ever get a Charlotte FC tattoo, or you just...
I'd consider it.
Consider, okay.
Okay. What would be your first tattoo if you could get one?
And honest, when I was looking at the sheet they had over there, it was either this or the crown. I like the crown too.
So
I got the crown's sweet. Yeah.
Mine's the tri-letter and the crown with it at that part.
But not tonight.
Not tonight.
have a few more of these extra time beers.
No.
Chico will influence you somehow.
We could do a live tattooing.
Oh my lord.
Oh, Russell said he'll get one with me.
Hey, there you go.
But he's not here tonight, so we can't do it tonight.
Okay. Well,
Russell,
Russell.
Russell, I'll get one with you next time too, Russell. I got you. So, but Russell also put in the chat that he's going to clip that scene of you going like this and turn that into a GIF. So, which is great, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry, but yeah, love the kit. I love the crown inspiration for it as you keep rubbing your chest. That's great. I mean, so I know we were kind of alluding early in the episode during the off season. We were trying to figure out content, right? And we were all giving our top 5 for kits, right? So Swift, as the kit extraordinaire, where would you rank this kit now in the hierarchy of Charlotte FC kits now? Now that you have it on, now that you see it, and now that you have rugs.com on your shoulder.
Well, the rugs.com is what really does. I don't know, man. This might be second or third.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this just wearing it, I think this has now jumped to number 1. So I would say number 1 is this one. The Explorer kit last year's number 2.
Okay.
Mint City's number 3, and then it kind of goes from there, right? So this is definitely skyrocketed as a favorite so far.
Yes. My order stays the same from when we talked earlier too. This is number 1.
Yeah.
Your same order.
It's just so
Yes.
nice. Well done to everybody that worked on this.
I will say, and you said everyone worked on this, so friend of the show, former chief fan officer from Charlotte FC.
You talking about Sean?
Sean McIntosh.
We miss you, Sean.
We miss you for one, but we also played a big part in helping work on this kit as well.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, he has a hand in some future kits for us potentially, but we'll see what that looks like. But kudos to you and everyone that did that stuff.
Might be one more that he, I think, has touched and worked on coming.
So just a quick plug, because I got to promote my boy Sean. Check out the Las Vegas Lights. I hear they have some really fire kits coming out very soon, hopefully. So Swift as a kit man, you're going to definitely want to check those out. Probably
Sean, if you're listening, you can send me a kit.
Such So
just announce your address on the show.
Right.
No, yeah.
But
nothing wrong with that. No.
So all of us don't have a name or a number on this kit.
Not yet.
So would any of you go add a name or a number? So Corey, you're saying no?
No.
Okay.
I like blank kits.
Yeah, let's talk about this for a minute, because there is like a. Do you go with name and number, or you leave it blank? Because like players come and go.
Yep.
The team is forever, just like Wu-Tang is forever. And
they're for the children too, apparently.
And they're for the children. But most of my jerseys do have a name and number on the back, and there's definitely some that I wish I wish I would have not have done that.
Yeah, because half the ones that you got are no longer with the team.
Right.
I'm just talking about like Arsenal jerseys, like
Well, I've even done this with like football jerseys, where I won't buy a like Panthers jersey with a current player on. Like the new one I got was an old Panthers old Peppers jersey.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just don't want to buy a jersey and then regret it later.
Yeah.
So my two Panthers jerseys are Kuechly and Julius Peppers.
Oh, those are two greats, though. Yeah.
And so the only one I'd consider putting on this would be Westwood.
Okay.
Because I think at this point
he's a club legend.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. I don't expect any reason to be ashamed to have him in my jersey.
Yeah.
I would do him.
Well,
but honestly, I like having the blank kit.
I have a reason why I want to put him on here.
Yeah?
Because
he's digging through stickers over here.
I know, right? I'm getting my stickers ready for him. But it's mostly because he prefers tea over coffee. So I don't know if I have to hold that against him a little bit. No, I'm just joking. But no, so I've only got one player from Charlotte FC on a kit. So I take that back. I got two. One is Brant Bronico. I got that year one. I had to get that. I mean, he was very first player on our show, supports us from the Carolinas, one of our very first players of the team. So I felt like I owed that, and then also too, he's always gracious with fans and always battles, right?
Yeah.
My second one, I have to be a Fulham loyal fan, and I had to get Tim Ream. So
okay.
I figured while he may only be with Charlotte for a very short stint or a shorter time frame, he is someone that has played in MLS, has played in the Premier League, has been an impact. Kind of similar to Westwood, right? So, I don't think it's a bad choice with Ream. And plus, he's got a glorious man bun. So, you have to support that perspective as well. So,
absolutely.
But what about you, Swift? Are you going to get one on this one or no?
I think I'm going to do Zaha.
Nice. Okay. It's a pretty big name.
I made that whole speech about players go. There I am.
Did you have Carol and Enzo and
No.
Is your
No, my TT Ortiz is my guy. You know that. No, I'm just kidding. I would not. You couldn't give me a TT Ortiz jersey. But yeah, no, I'll do Zaha.
Gonna get Zaha? Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm wheeling and dealing and stickers.
When I was in the store buying this jersey, there was a woman who walked up and she was clearly buying something for her boyfriend, and she was like, I don't know which player to get. And she was like going through all of them. And I was like, well, Westwood's pretty safe. And I talked her through it, and I was like, also, those are blank. And she was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Just get a plain jersey. You can customize it later if you want to. But
what's everybody saying in the chat? Put it in the chat what you would do. I want to see what players you would do.
I want to know who Russell will get on there. I want to know who else will be getting a number on there as well.
Russell just asked you, Matt, does cash rule everything around you?
Cream, get the money.
I just love these deep cut jokes that are just probably going over like the kids that are under 30.
Can we talk about this in the back?
Yeah. So it's funny. So go ahead and I'll go ahead and talk about this from this viewpoint here. So we've got this wonderful flag behind us. There's actually two. I want to talk about both. For a second.
Yeah.
So the one behind us was a tweet from the one and only mustache aficionado Tom Bogert behind us, right?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, if you follow MLS, you need to follow Tom Bogert.
Yes.
MLS Insider, breaks news all the time. Big fan of Tom, right? Yeah. So we've also got stickers. That's why I was willing to deal in stickers on this. But there was a fan that was poo-pooing the Wilfred Zaha signing when he signed with Charlotte FC, and Tom just responded back basically saying, "He's Wilfred Zaha, dude. Like, what more do you need?"
What a great tweet.
And you can kind of see, like, the screenshot here obviously has a lot of views and likes, everything like that. But Matt Chantry, aka Ashley Westwood T Gang, made this behind us. I made them into stickers, which again I know you can't really see it here very much, but there's some stickers there for it as well. But if you guys are following the show, take a screenshot, take a picture of this, tag Tom Bogert in it. I want him to know that we love him on the show and that we support him in Charlotte from that perspective here. But I have to go ahead, Corey.
No, I was gonna say we do have answers to the jersey question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Joe Amerson said he'd put Amerson on his kit, which I can get behind.
What if I put Amerson?
Say what?
What if I put Joe?
I think you
Amerson
should
on
do
it?
that too.
Okay.
I think it's great. But I used to be a Tennessee Titans fan, long story. But I have an Inscoe Tennessee Titans jersey that I will still wear.
Okay.
Wait a second.
You can't go wrong with your own name.
I'm gonna come back to that later on.
Okay.
It's okay. Go ahead.
David Buckland said Zaha.
Nice.
James Karen, Brawny Bro.
Yeah.
Nikki Fontes. Westwood or Kalina.
Nice. That's a good one.
Rob Barnes, Zaha.
Someone said Fuchs. That was a
Yeah,
good one.
I think that's it. Oh, David Buckland said with the mint jersey, he went with Fuchs 22, which I think is a
That's
safe
solid.
one too.
Yeah,
Fuchs
solid.
is a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
historic. That's historic now.
It is.
Right.
It is.
We're building history.
So that's the first banner behind us here.
Oh, yeah.
And so, of course, Matt Chantry, who's over here to the left, is a big Fulham fan. And when we signed Tim Ream, got really, really excited that we signed Tim Ream, all sorts of stuff, right? And you can't really see it too well because our producer is blocking it, but that's okay. He's moving out of the way. But it's an American flag. You will see this in the stadium this year. And it says the American Dream, but the R-E-A-M in Dream is highlighted as someone flicks off Tim Ream. You can guess one person who that is. But it has Tim Ream on it, and it has his man bun on the backside. So, I mean, this is the fun thing with soccer. So
Let's get the guy who just did that on.
well, I think we need to get the guy who flicked off Tim Ream onto the show.
Because we want to talk about this glorious belt that he's
So as we
wearing,
filibuster here for a second, there was this thing that was given out since season 1, I think, Swift, when you were a communications director for Mint City Collective. I was president. I think that's when it first started. But no one ever got to have this until year 2.
That's right.
And so I'm just continuing to filibuster while we do this here for half a second here.
Yeah.
But we got some really exciting things. People can see on the camera what's happening here. We're bringing on a special guest. But I'm super excited. Dude, I held this thing.
It is a legit.
It weighs like 25
belt.
pounds. Like it weighs. Can you hear us, Jay? So we can hear you. Sorry, we can't hear you, but you can hear us. Give us just a second here. Oh, say something again. Oh,
There
dude,
he
there we
is.
go.
There he is.
We
There he
figured
is.
it out.
There he is. There
So
he is.
Jay, before you sit down, Jay, I'm gonna need you to stand up and face the camera here, and I want you to show off what you have here just for a second. So I need you to Macho Man Randy Savage that, or Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
I need you to hold that thing up.
Yeah.
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 Because they can't wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's super heavy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, Jay, why are you so obsessed with this belt?
So it is adorable how much he is obsessed with it, but I have to just give some background context here for a second. So there's like drumming calls and chats, everything like that the past week or so.
Yeah.
And there's been some video calls where people have to jump on. And every time Jay joins this call, he joins and he has the belt on. He could be laying in bed. He has the belt on.
I love it.
He is sitting in his chair. He has the belt on. It's 8:30 at night on a Wednesday, and Jay joins a call with the belt on. And I had to laugh hysterically whenever that happens from that perspective. So.
Provocative. Don't you violate the belt.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's Jay, tell us a little bit for folks that don't know about the belt at all. Tell everybody a little bit about it.
So the Southern Champions belt, it's a competition between Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, and DC, right?
Yep.
And so basically it comes down to head-to-head points between all 4 teams throughout the year.
Yep.
So the last 2 years, Nashville had it. Nashville had it 2 years ago by default, even though they were in the Western Conference. It was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
even though, because Charlotte beat everybody, if we went by the standards now, Charlotte beat everybody that year. But the reason Nashville got it is because they were higher in standings. They had more points.
Okay.
But they had an easier schedule. They were in the West. The West is garbage. So.
There we go. Yeah, they were. They weren't. Yeah, they weren't
And
that
so, but last year, going into last year, they won it again fair and square. And then this past season, we went in and it actually came down to the final week of the year against DC. We went up to DC. I think we were ahead by 1 point. So DC needed to win. That was it.
That's right.
If DC won,
Yeah.
if DC won, DC could have won this thing. And we went up there and beat the crap out of them.
A little bit of revenge.
It was
Oh, a whole
awesome.
whole bunch of revenge, actually. Yeah.
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 And so, so at that moment, as soon as that game ended, I was like, hell yeah, the belt's mine.
You were so excited.
I was so excited.
So
Because-
excited.
so even further backstory, when they first introduced this belt and the Atlanta Sporters brought it to the ISC conference in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. It was my first ISC conference, and they had the belt with them because they were going to give it to Nashville. And I held the belt and was like, no, Nashville cannot have this thing. This is mine. I want this thing so bad. And but yeah, so like, you know, and I made a joke when Nashville turned it over to us at ISC. I said, you know, we played really hard for this.
Yeah.
You know, I broke a lot of sweats and energies and all that stuff. I was at every one of those games last year.
Yeah.
All 6 of them.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, those rivalries, they mean a lot to me. My history with DC United, obviously, is something that brings that close to me. Atlanta
Who you said? What was the team that's very close?
DC United.
Who's that? Who is that? I'm just trying. So.
But and then of course Atlanta, it's become a friendly rivalry. I think we have a lot of friends in Atlanta. Every time we go down there, we bring a lot of people with us.
A lot of people.
You know, last year we brought 1,400 people down there.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite away days.
It's an amazing away day. One of my favorites when you're going up the escalator. If the escalator doesn't break, it's amazing because the echo chamber
Acoustics.
that is Mercedes-Benz, like that stadium, it's meant for fans like us that actually sing, unlike the Atlanta fans.
It's a library.
It is a library.
I was just about to say the same thing. Is this a library? That's my favorite moment ever in that stadium.
That was such an amazing day. Like, to be honest, I'll take Adam Armour's goal against Atlanta.
See, I wasn't there. I was in Salud for that game, and feeling Salud's floors go like this when Adam scored. But I'm sure that was a great moment.
I would take that moment as, you know, the first goal ever, right, for us.
Yeah.
But is this a library? Is this a library? God, man, like few moments, and then as we're watching everybody leave the stadium, and we just got louder.
Yeah.
And that was when we only had 600-700 people there.
Right. Yeah.
So this past year we had 1,400.
Right.
So, you know, it's an amazing thing for me. It's like seeing the rivalries with these teams. Nashville guys, seeing them at ISC, meeting with them whenever I go out and visit for work. Like, they're good people, but we have a good rivalry with them. And that's what this belt's all about, man. It's building that rivalry within the South. And you can sit here and argue semantics and say Florida's the South. It's not.
It's its own country.
It's New York South, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, so it's fun to have these rivalries and to be a part of this and to be able to walk around and listen, man.
Showing that thing off.
I've seen multiple kids take this thing tonight and have the biggest smiles while holding the belt. It's the most incredible thing. It's like it's seeing little kids. It's grab this thing and hold it and get pictures with the belt or with their parents. You know, and honestly, full-grown adults too.
I took my picture with it earlier. It's great.
Yeah.
I did not realize the weight in that thing. I'm kind of glad I've been working out the past month.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure if I picked it up the very first time without doing that, I would have struggled a little bit there for it.
I had to get back in the gym because this season's going to be a little bit rough. And so, full discretion. I plan on bringing it to the tailgates for the Southern Champions game specifically. We'll have it at Mint City events throughout the year. So people can get their picture with it. I'm not going to hoard it.
You're going to hoard it a little bit. It's okay.
You're good at letting people hold it.
I'm good at letting people hold it. But
I know it's your baby.
It's still coming home with me.
That's right. So real quick, Jay, you also got a tattoo tonight.
I did, yeah.
Which one did you get?
I got the Mint City skyline.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, you got a tattoo tonight too?
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's his name? Ray. He did great work.
Awesome.
Quick, efficient. Got us in and out. He actually has quite a line over there. Right?
Hey, did you hear that, Corey? It's quick and efficient.
Yeah,
Nope.
Corey. It takes like 10 minutes.
Still not happening, y'all.
Hey, so I think Mr. Westwood T Game might want to join here in a minute, just FYI. So
yeah,
get him in here.
Yeah. So
as long as you guys don't talk about Tim Ream, we're good, right?
I think
that's all he's going to talk about.
So hold on. So can I get just a peek behind the curtain a little bit on the inside joke here.
Yeah.
So Jay is not a fan of Tim Ream, and Jay, I don't know.
He's never been.
Never been. Since his professional debut for the New York stupid ass Red Bulls.
But he's part of the crowd now. You got to make sure that you support the players.
While he's playing, I support him.
No.
I don't say anything bad about him. I just don't also say anything good about him. Right? So I respect that he plays for my club. He plays for the badge.
Yeah.
But from things I've heard about him, he doesn't care about the badges. He cares about the name on the back. Right? And to me, it's like an old Charlotte.
Wait, who cares about the name of the back? Hold on a second.
Timothy Ream.
He's getting called into the principal's office with Jay here in a minute. Timothy Ream needs to report to the office.
Listen, man,
we do not endorse what Jay's saying right now, by the way.
And listen, I'm fine with that. Listen, everybody likes their players. Everybody likes the Tim Reams, the Ajimangs.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Milana fan. He's probably my favorite player.
Okay. Yeah.
Him and Nathan Byrne. I was a defensive player.
Yeah.
I played fullback when I was a kid. I played left fullback usually, which I can't root on Ream for that because he's not actually a left fullback. But, Nathan Byrne is arguably, in my mind, been the best player for the last 2 years on this roster.
He's been very solid since that first Leagues Cup that he was a part of.
Yeah.
He's been very solid since then. So Jay, Corey, I don't know if you want to read that comment there from David about Jay here. So I don't put you on the spot.
David Buckland says, "Hey Jay, thanks for the MCC flag at the DC match this year for my grandson. That solidified my decision to join MCC."
Oh, nice, Jay.
David, you're welcome. I actually remember this moment, as drunk as I was at that game. After the game, I had one of our flags because we brought him into the stadium. DC is one of the few stadiums that lets us bring flagpoles in.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take it back to the bar with me. So the first person I saw, I said, "Hey, would you?" And here's the thing, he had kids, and kids love flags. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
I have a 7-year-old kid who waves flags at games, and I said, "You know what? Do you guys want this?"
Yeah.
I make sure to ask the parents first.
Yeah.
Because if they say no, then that's fine. I get it.
Right.
But I'm like, "Do you guys want this?" And he's like, "I don't know. Should I take this?" I'm like, "No. I am who I am. Take this thing. I don't want it."
Yeah.
I do. I love these flags. I endorse all of our flags, our smoke bombs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I also want other people to enjoy the culture, and that's the most important thing to me. Is bringing people in and seeing that and seeing the follow-up comment. He has that flag on the wall in his bedroom now and still talks about it.
That's awesome.
That's why we do this stuff, man. That's why it's important to me.
So I got breaking news. Breaking news.
What you got?
Bogert shared our photo with his flag behind us. So
Legend. Legend.
So thank you, Tom, for indulging us in our silliness. So I just text our Westwood T-Gang correspondent and see if he wants to come over here and join here in just a second.
All right,
but real quick.
Jay, thank you for coming out. We got
thanks
the biggest.
thanks for coming out here, or having me coming out here and doing this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say this just real quick. You've been a part of MCC since day zero. I know all of us have been a part of here. This is year 4 of doing this. Appreciate everything you do. Appreciate for being the heartbeat of like MCC, Charlotte Football Club. Everything you do, really appreciate everything. So.
Absolutely, and to kind of touch on that, I know I'm not everybody's favorite person in the world a lot of times, just because I am passionate, I am who I am. But
just don't talk about Reem. That's not.
I will always talk about Reem. But listen, man, like, we have a good time. Mid-City's meant to be a group that engages the fans, brings everybody together, and just supports the club, man. Like, this team is the reason we exist.
Yeah.
You know, these fans are the reason that we're here. And so without you guys, without the fans, without the members, without the people that show up on game days, the ones that watch at home, you know, we're Mid-City. And it's like, I used to sign off the old podcast I did. You know, be passionate, be loyal, be Charlotte. And I think back then I didn't know what being Charlotte was, but I think I do now. And I look around and I see it.
Nice.
And that's us.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it, man.
Enjoy that belt. Go show it off.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey, you
sir.
can hear it.
That clack, clack, clack. There you go.
So we got the biggest Reem hater.
Yeah, right. Followed up
just
by
chat. Now we're gonna follow it up with the biggest Tim Reem fan.
I was gonna say Reem lover, but that kind of come off kind of fast.
You've got to be careful about how you're going to say how much someone loves Reem.
So welcome,
Thank
Matt
you for having
Chantry.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty awesome event, yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. I knew it was going to be busy and fun, but it's even better than I thought it was going to be. And it's still only, I don't know what time is it. It's still 2 hours till kickoff.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be asleep by the time we kick off, man. So I have to read this comment real quick. Sorry. So David Buckland says he has that flag on the wall in his bedroom now and still talks about it. So that's awesome about that story with Jay and the flag.
Yeah.
I know Jay's not here, David. I'll share that with him because that's the cool thing about like
he touched on it.
he did. Okay.
He got to see
I was making
it.
sure he
That's
saw
really
that,
cool.
so, but
Thanks for sharing that though.
Yeah, but we were talking about your lovely flags and banners that you made, and we had breaking news before you got your headset on. But Tom Bogert shared this event with that photo behind us.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So we need to make sure we tag the Westwood T-Gang and say thank you for supporting that space.
I'm pretty sure when he made that tweet, he didn't think it was going to be his biggest banger tweet of the year.
And became a sticker and a flag and a shirt.
It's such a great response because he could have said anything, but it was just like, he's like, what do you want? Like, yeah, it's kind of like that. So I love Chantry because you love stickers and you love flags and banners.
Yeah, I'll add 2 more things to that. He loves Tim Ream.
He loves Tim Ream, yeah.
And he's British, so it makes the soccer podcast sound much more official whenever he joins.
And that's what we need, really.
That's how I've got this far in life, to be honest. Purely based on my accent. It's worked well.
So how are you feeling about tonight, man, against like Seattle this year, 2025? I know we haven't had you on the show this year yet, but how are you feeling about Charlotte this year?
As a whole for this year, pretty good. I definitely think top 4 is very achievable, and probably 3rd or 4th is where I think we'll end up. I feel good about the season as a whole. I feel like we've improved a lot over the off-season. The players did a great job for us last year. We're back again. They've got a year's worth of experience now under Dean Smith, which we didn't have before. Players like Abada that came in mid-season and didn't get pre-season to practice, now got a pre-season behind them and should be, in theory, better this year. So I'm feeling good about the season as a whole. This evening, who knows? First game of the season.
Yeah.
I feel like you never know what you're going to get first game of the season. It's a long trip for us. They also had a long trip back from their midweek game.
Guatemala, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you never know what you're going to get the first game. Honestly, I feel like we could win 3-0, we could lose 3-0, it could be a 0-0 board draw, it could be 3-all. Like it's very hard to predict the first game. I think it'll be a fun game. Seattle are a good team. They're going to be pretty high in the West, I think, this season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Well, and we touched on it earlier, but I'm sure you know, like Wilfred Zaha didn't travel with the team today. Expecting a newborn here at any moment now, right? So some pretty exciting things him in his personal life here, but it's gonna make an interesting lineup for Charlotte tonight. We were talking about. I think it'll be a lineup similar to what we saw at the end of the season last year. With Pep Biel playing out wide a little bit more to kind of start this game, but it'll be interesting to see, especially with the depth as Cambridge is out and things like that. But what do you think the starting lineup's going to be?
I agree. I think knowing what I've seen from Dean Smith in the past is he'll stick with what he knows, which is Biel out wide. He'll probably play Brandt in that attacking midfield role and just let him go at it like a little terrier and like chase everyone down again like he did at the end of last season. Maybe Williamson and Westwood in central midfield.
Ginger, would you like another beer?
Oh, yeah. If someone's going to get me a beer, I'll go for it.
May said she would grab you a beer.
Oh.
Will you let May know he would like a beer? Sorry. This is
nice.
Live.
No, this is
beer orders live.
Everybody's being so nice to us.
Everyone's going to judge me on whatever I order now.
But
can I have I'll have a sour, please. Any sour.
Lord.
I feel like a sour.
What is that? You gotta get Chico. You gotta get Chico's beer.
That's like I'm going through the list. I started with the stout. I'm going to
sour. I've had 10 of those already. Now I gotta do sours. Let me ask you real quick. What do you think about?
Oh yeah, you got it on.
And if you want to do this, you can.
Yeah.
You missed it earlier. We were all doing this earlier on the show. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I started doing it for summer. What do you think about the jersey?
I like it a lot. So I actually got the replica on this one versus the authentic.
Okay.
Couple of reasons.
Oh yeah.
I spend a lot on Charlotte FC stuff, and
sure.
This is my wife saying to my wife, "Yeah, I got it, but I saved this a little bit of money, so it earned me a few brownie points, not many, but some." But also, though, I kind of like that this one.
I was gonna say I actually like that it's the stitched shoulder.
It's the stitch. This is stitched shoulder, and it won't peel off.
That's what I wanted. Why wouldn't they do that? Does it have the? It doesn't have the neck garrison or key or whatever it is.
There's bits that are missing, but I was willing to make that trade-off this time because I know they're peeling on.
I didn't realize that was stitched.
Yeah. I guess it makes this more aerodynamic whenever I'm running on the pitch.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what you need, Gusler. You need something that's going to make you aerodynamic.
Right? You see that, right, Corey? It's kind of weird that they would do that. Damn you, Adidas. So it is what it is. But
no, they want you to be aerodynamic, like you're saying.
As much as I'm on the pitch running.
All the running you do while doing a podcast.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, so can you talk a little bit about your obsession with flags and banners this year? So,
it's so funny that we had Jay on first and then now you. You couldn't have been opposites.
But Jay and I have different feelings about Tim Ream, but we also are both very passionate about flags and banners.
It's so true. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true.
And me and him like to have been speaking all off season about different flags and banners that we've made. There's a couple more that I've not even put up yet. But the T-Gang one, which everyone's seen a million times.
Yep.
The England one, and I told these guys this earlier, and I'll say it with you guys now. So the England one I made with Lee of CLTFC Fan TV about exactly a year ago, and it's got like the English players and Dino like written on the flag that are associated with Charlotte FC obviously and Anton, which we really enjoy doing that together, and I enjoy seeing that up at games. So I did the Rim one, and I was like at the checkout bit of the process of that, and I was like, shit, I can't have an England flag that's gigantic and then do a smaller like American one because I'm going to get rich.
Yeah, they'll revoke your citizenship.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm going to. Anne Lee got another like $12 out of me, and we got the bigger size.
The federal government will come after you.
I will say, when that moment happened, he reached out to all the Fulham fans.
Yes, of course.
And MCC and was like, I need to crowdsource this, guys.
Yeah.
I've already spent too much money on banners and flags this year. Yeah. Please help me out here.
Yeah, I got like 6 Fulham/Charlotte fans to contribute to it.
That's pretty awesome.
That's what I love about this sport, man, is that it brings people together, different fandoms together, all underneath the same banner. And, and plus you get creative shit like this where it's the American dream but with Ream highlighted into it in a man bun.
Yeah, and there's I think we've got like 5 or 6 more that we've done and haven't arrived yet for different players and different things, which I won't ruin the surprise for them.
I was going to say, any of them you want to tease or anything like that, or no?
There's Jay did a really good Dean Smith one, which
Okay.
I'm not sure whether he's got it printed yet or not, but that will be up at some point soon. I'm really looking forward to seeing that one.
Awesome. So, how are you feeling about Dean Smith heading into a second year? So, if you're Zoran, if you're the team, would you sit there and open the checkbook and say, Dean, how long do you want to stay? Write your check and would sign that extension, or what do you think from his performance so far?
I think that they're probably going to do that at some point, assuming that he wants to stick around. He's at the point of his career now where I don't think that he would go back to England unless there's a Premier League offer, which probably wouldn't come either. So I think he's going to stick around for a long time, and all the time that Charlotte wants him, I think he's going to stick around. Obviously, managers, you never know. Like shit could hit the fan, it could go terribly wrong in 6 months. Happens all the time. Obviously, I hope it doesn't. Love Dean Smith, but I think right now, I think he's going to hopefully be Charlotte manager for 4, 5, 6 years. Would be my hope.
Let me ask you something, because I think you watched it, the new MLS documentary on Apple TV. I watched. If you don't know, I'm blanking on the name. What was the name of it?
Onside.
Onside. Yeah.
Yep.
So, you've seen it, right?
I've seen up to episode 6. I've not seen episode 7.
Okay. Same.
And I'm halfway through episode 1.
Okay, so episode.
You can spoil whatever. I don't care.
So episode 6 focuses on Zoran Cornetta's like in it.
There's your sour.
Quite a bit.
Thank you, May May.
Thank you, May May.
May May's the best, by the way.
Yes, she is the best. If you haven't watched it, watch it, because it kind of goes through the saga of Marco Royce, and
really?
Yeah, and how that all transpired and everything like that. But for me, like I think it was really great, because I think it shows like sometimes things are out of your control. But what do you think about one seeing that, and then how do you feel that Zoran has done going into year 4?
So on that one, it was interesting. There's some things I've said online. I feel like the way they've done that documentary, first of all, is they've probably exaggerated it a little bit. It's TV. They've done the same thing Drive to Survive does.
I was going to say, and they kind of exaggerated that a little bit. Yeah,
and I expect that. They all do that. They want it to make it seem more dramatic than it is. I don't judge them on that. So
you're telling me reality television is not actually reality?
I would do exactly the same thing if I was in their position, so no judgment from me on me on that. But he's going after the big players, obviously, and we got Sahar. We didn't get Royce. We didn't get Sengs last time.
Yeah, he's dead to me. He's dead to me.
So at the moment, I'm if like you do like a, I don't know, 0%, 100% of my feelings on Zoran, I'm probably like a 60% with 100% being the best.
Okay.
There's some things he can improve
More
upon.
on the positive side than the negative side.
Yeah, there's some things he can improve upon. But there's also a lot that he's done really well. Like the main one being bringing in Dean Smith, obviously. Like we've got a really good core of our team. We've got a good development going on in terms of the academy, in terms of Crown Legacy, which I think people forget about when they judge Zoran quite a lot as well. There's some things we need to do in terms of hitting on a couple of big players, but he's like one big hit away from basically being probably considered one of the better GMs in the league. I think if he hits on one, if Sahar takes off this season, everyone will be like, holy shit, Zoran has done an absolutely superb job at Charlotte SC. So,
and we still have that one DP slot that he can do something with too.
Well, and it's interesting too, because like if you go back to year 1, a lot of the criticism of Zoran was like, hey, relying on international spots, a lot of the foreign players not relying on MLS, not quote unquote identifying talent early on. But like credit to Zoran, credit to the front office, the scouts, the transaction side, like they've learned quickly, they adapted quickly, and they've also been able to say, this isn't working, let's rip the Band-Aid off and just move on, right? And that's been, I think, been really key for me and why I appreciate Zoran and the team, because they know when to say, hey, Enzo Capelli didn't work out. Let's try to move on really quickly versus waiting.
They don't
for
linger
years.
with their decisions. They really do move on quickly. And again, I said this last episode, like we don't get kind of stuck in these crazy contracts that's hard to get out of. I know Swiderski's a little different because it was difficult to move him on. Maybe we lost a little bit of money. But like I feel like we've done a good job of managing some of the the talent that didn't work out.
We have the flexibility, like pretty much all the time.
And think about this, like, we had a player that passed away, and then we had 2 players that did some dumb stuff off the field, and you had to manage all that stuff too. And I really do think going into the season that we're in a good spot. But I love that documentary. If you get a chance, go watch it, because I think you kind of see the human aspect of it and like learn some stuff about like how it all works. Like he had to fly to London, so they travel with him to London. And he's literally I don't want to ruin it, but like something happens while he's at dinner, and like
I'm not going to say what happened was at dinner, but I was
guys, I haven't
interested by
watched
the
it
fact
yet.
that
Okay,
he was at dinner with Steve Walsh. He's been a
Steve
Charlotte
Walsh,
advisor for a while, but I don't think we've really heard much about him,
We
like
haven't.
what he does. That doesn't mean he's not doing anything, but it's just not like out there. So I was like, oh, he's actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I don't know how much
that's
that is,
surprising to
but-
me, because I remember hearing that year one that he was part of it as like a consultant, kind of like
he's like an advisor.
But like I haven't heard his name mentioned really at all since.
Also, too, how can I become an advisor?
Zoran, if you're listening right now,
If you're watching, listening, like you want to.
I know you're in Seattle actually watching the game and getting ready here in a minute, but
No, they're getting ready watching the show. So if you need an advisor, anybody at this table,
no, not me. You don't want me.
Gusler doesn't want to do it.
No.
I'll do it.
You can pay us, you can pay some stickers and banners.
Yeah.
Just pay me in kits. I'm cheap, dude.
If you want, all I'm going to be able to do is recommend Fulham players with Chantry, and that's all I'm going to be able to recommend if you hire me as an advisor for it.
But on the Zoran point, one thing I'll note as well is what I think we're in a good position with Zoran now is in year one, he knew the European market and he knew the Asian market because that's where it came from. Now, we're 4 years into him doing his job, he knows all that stuff still as well, obviously, and he now has 4 years of experience dealing with MLS, knowing how the cap system works and GAM and TAM and all the insane MLS rules. He knows that now. He didn't know that 4 years ago. So we've got the Zoran we've got now is very, very much better than the Zoran we had 4 years ago.
Well, and kudos to not just Zoran, but like think about Bobby Belair and like the front office. They're getting smarter with the way they do these contracts. They're getting smarter with the way that they kind of like get loan deals. Like to me, that's been a big thing this past.
We're getting robbed.
I know we are getting robbed during the show.
So this is Chico's little one.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey, what's up, buddy?
So-
So he's robbing us of all of our stickers and trying to take our gloves here.
But like for me, thinking about from this, we didn't really rely on the loan process that often, right? Over the past 6 to 8 months, all of a sudden we had Pep Biel come in as a loan and be on a quote unquote DP deal, and we brought him back again on a loan without being on a DP deal. We've got Zaha now on a loan / DP deal. So it's almost like we're starting to learn to be like, how can we finagle this cap and this roster spending without getting shoehorned in to bad deals, right?
Exactly, and that's why people get sometimes frustrated that I like Zoran as much as I do, but I feel like.
Were you at that dinner with Steve Walsh?
I was behind them.
By the way, it was in like a dank English pub as well. Like hiding in the corner.
Was there a slaggy beer?
It was probably a warm beer, like bad fish and chips.
But what I was trying to say is like, I think there's like this misconception like, oh, we're a cheap team. David Tepper's a multi-billionaire. Like we could just throw money at whatever. And I would say, look at Atlanta. And it's funny, like if you watch that documentary, it touches on Atlanta. Atlanta's, spent all this money on these players, and they struggled at the beginning of last season. But once they sold all of their like high-profile players, they actually started doing better. So it's not about like spending money; it's about making the right deals, not getting in crazy contracts that can like have a ripple effect. So again, if you get a chance, watch the documentary. It's great. So, but I think Zoran, Bobby has done a really good job at like getting these contracts set up in a way that we're not in bad situations down the road.
There's also a good scene in the documentary where if you pause it at a really good time, you can see that like big board of players they want to sign.
Yes.
And I saw that, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to pause this and analyze them all.
Yeah. So I know you like who all did you see on there? Do you remember?
Like the Celso was on there, which I think was rumored at the time.
Yeah.
Podence, Does he play for Wolves? I forget. He's a pretty good player.
Yeah,
There was Adams, but we don't know what Adams
I said
it is.
Tyler Adams just because I'm like.
I think it's Che Adams, but I very much could be wrong there.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting too, because I definitely was like, ooh, who's on that board?
Josh Sargent was on there, which would be interesting.
That would be an interesting depth piece slash TP for sure.
That could well be someone we've got on the discovery list.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the other dart. We talked about Miguel Almiron last episode.
Yep.
Marco was on our list, and again, free money. We didn't get the player because they really wanted him, but we got that money. And again, I think it's smart business.
So Joe Emerson says in the chat, just speaking of Atlanta deals.
Oh, Joe loves Zoran.
So Joe says Latte Lath has a brace already for Atlanta, and I know there was a lot of hubbub, a lot of whatever about Latte Lath and the money that Atlanta spent on a player like that. And not to make this an Atlanta podcast, but that's a pretty big deal for a brand new premier player to show up in MLS. Atlanta spent a ton of money on him. He's already got a brace for it. So I'm selfishly hoping that Zaha comes around and goes, I see you, Latte Lath. I'm gonna get a hat trick next week.
Remind me who Atlanta are playing today. I've literally forgotten.
I don't know who they are. I think Montreal.
Montreal.
Okay.
He's got brace against Montreal.
Woo! No, but again, like that. If you look at
Joe says Zoran is growing on me. Sorry.
About time. It's about time, dude. No. Joe's been critical and skeptical of Zoran, and I get it to a certain degree, but I think there's a lot of things that Zoran does that people don't see, and Bobby does that people don't see, and I think this documentary kind of shows like we did everything we could. We threw money at Marco. He took less money to go out to LA because he's a punk ass bitch.
Zoran as well.
Please don't clip that.
He's maybe not as good at the the PR media side of things.
Sure,
a couple of was it when we've signed when Mar left
Camille
and the Camille stuff and since then he has been much quieter media wise, which I think is funny.
Yeah,
you don't have to be good at that in that job. It's smart for him to I'm just going to take a step back and not talk as much. Obviously, when we get Dean Smith, he's going to talk times like that. But when he can be quiet, maybe he's not quite as good at that part, and that's fine. If he gets us in the playoffs and gets us winning cup competitions, then he could be terrible at speaking to the media for all I care at that point.
I mean, all I care about is if he brings good players in and we win games. He could be as bad at PR as he wants, but I mean, I do have to laugh though. Remember the PR statement when he signed Camille Uzviak is that if he can score in England and Poland, I mean he can score in Salt Lake.
Probably not the best.
He would take that back, I think.
I'm sure he would because Camille has not scored very much.
As a Stoke fan, did you resent that remark?
Stoke on Trent.
I was gonna say that Sargent from earlier when you were talking about Sargent tore up Stoke this morning. I did not appreciate that.
Oh,
but he'd be a great addition to the
So would you be a Sargent hater or kind of like Jay?
Would you be like Jay and just hold it against him?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You'd be like, give me the redhead kid. Come on over.
So we'll have to see in the summer who we are linked to.
Yeah.
Go watch that. Yes. Go watch that.
No.
Go watch that documentary and pause.
Jordan Parks has entered the chat.
Hard pass.
We probably shouldn't do this on YouTube. So we'll do this in a minute.
This is the content rating has just increased.
Correct. Well, that is nothing that we have in front of us. So.
Can we get banned on YouTube for
I don't know.
shots?
Who knows? I don't know. Well,
let's try it.
Probably not. But. We got derailed there by Jordan.
Yeah, sorry.
We were talking about Josh Sargent though, and the summer window and the DPs coming in here. So let me ask you guys this. So say Zaha lights it up, right? And Patrick's playing really well. Abada's playing well. Who do you bring in as that third DP? Because we do have that flexibility. And do you bring someone on that's like a midfielder, a striker, defender? Like who would you bring on at that space? Not player wise, but I guess position or type.
So here's the thing about Patrick. He's getting offers
from championship teams, right?
He may not be here after the end of the season. So you have a situation, and I love Patrick. I wish he would stay here forever and retire here. But you have a situation where you might have a player that's leaving at the end of the season. You get paid there, but you go get your DP, and that could be your striker. So I don't know. I think I would still maybe go striker, or maybe another number 10. I don't know.
I think that we get to May and see what we need, basically. Like, I asked a question, I think, to you guys a few weeks ago, like, what might go, if something wasn't going right in the first couple of months, what would that be? I feel like there's bound to be one player that's not quite meeting expectations at the start of the season. Law of averages, I feel like it's bound to happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the random shouting that was happening in the background. I have no idea what was
Yeah,
said.
what was that?
I have no idea. So, yeah,
People laughing at Miami losing.
Yeah, that's what it was. So Miami's on a red, and they're also losing to New York City FC,
losing
so
2-1.
You really hate to see it, you know?
I mean, really.
It pains.
Hey, you remember that person that said that we were going to finish 8th, and they said that Miami was going to finish first? I'm just saying.
It's a really cool shirt. Sorry, I just saw.
That's the Glory Days one.
That's the Glory Days one. So we might have to get JD on here in a minute.
Yeah, we got to get JD on the
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I Corey, anything from a DP perspective, not to put you on the spot, but like, what would you do if we're doing well in May? Everyone's firing all cylinders. What do you do for that third DP spot?
I still look for the attacking midfield. I still think that's, even if BL is playing well in that role, I still think that's the weakness that I would like to be addressed by a DP spot.
What do you go ahead,
being
go ahead.
on, I was going to say, BL's loan ends in the summer, right?
It does in
So
August.
that's a tricky part of it,
Yep.
which I'm sure they're considering.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of questions will be answered towards the summer. To your point, I think we'll see what we need. There could, knock on wood, there could be injuries. There could be something that we don't see. We could see players being moved on. So, yeah, I think the summer's when we'll start to really kind of figure out what we actually need.
So I agree with y'all. I think that the number 9
I love that
would
people.
be
Yeah, right here. Here you go. Right there. Here's the camera right there.
Camille.
That's not Josh Sargent, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, no. Sorry. We have we're
This is
having.
what happens when you do a live show.
It's all good.
There's a ton of kids here. They love it. We have a bunch of stickers. We keep getting robbed of our stickers, which is awesome.
That's what they're here for, though.
Yeah, but it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, you never know what's gonna happen on a live show.
So sorry, I'm trying to figure out Camille out with a groin injury. I guess James is saying that Camille Uzviak is out with a groin injury, or somebody else. I don't know. So hopefully nothing on our side here for it. But
yeah, Joe, we had a
Interloper.
we had a little one that covered the camera for a second.
Don't work with children and animals.
So Chantry, just a quick plug for you, man. I know that you're part of MCC, part of the board. I know you're not a quote unquote VP or anything like that anymore from that perspective. But anything
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
And Matt would probably say the same thing.
as three former officers of Mint City Collective, I think we could all say we're in a good spot now. But anything you want to plug for Mint City, like anything that fans can look forward to this season from a collective perspective?
There's going to be lots of volunteer opportunities, I'm sure, as always. So keep like that. That's one thing that I'll say that Mint City does. All the groups do lots of good stuff. I'd say one of the areas where we stand out is we're really big on our volunteer opportunities, fundraising opportunities. So keep an eye out for some more of those. Our watch parties, obviously this evening, obviously your cameras here can't pan out, but this evening is already absolutely amazing. There's going to be a lot more like this season. Obviously, first game is always gigantic and a bit bigger, but I think we're going to see a lot more really good fun watch parties this year. At the tailgate next week, tailgate is obviously going to be a big deal. I will say that everyone will see next week.
David keeps like
Sorry, I'm ruining the show. That is an amazing sticker. I was trying to say hello, and I was pointing at him for like 5 minutes. So sorry for the show here.
So funny.
Didn't mean to interrupt the MCC perspective here.
I lost
but no, that's tailgate opportunities, volunteer opportunities.
Yeah.
I can't say enough to be able to help out with that kind of stuff. Right.
What about watch parties, Chantry? Do you know how often we'll be back at Hopfly, or kind of rotating around? Or
I know we've got our like main 3 or 4 spots here. Salute, Nodar, Hooligans. I'm sure Hooligans is like our OG place. We'll get back to there occasionally as well. Yeah. Obviously, every game's a bit different. This game's late. Some games are going to be like midweek Wednesdays where not many people can come out. Like it's all over the place. But we'll see our main 3 or 4 locations like rotating around. And honestly, they're an absolute ton of fun.
Yeah.
Even for the games which aren't maybe the quote-unquote bigger games, like it's just fun to hang out. Even with like, today there's like, there's probably gonna be like a couple of hundred people that roll through here.
Yeah.
The smaller games there might be like 10 or 15 people. They're still really fun. Those games that you don't expect to win. I think I watched the Cincinnati game last year where we won 3-1 away with like 15 or so people, and that was an absolute ton of fun because no one expected to win that game. Yeah. So you get situations like that. But yeah, the tailgate, the lot is a bit smaller this year, which people will see, but it's still going to be an absolute ton of fun. The march, opportunities to be capos and drummers, which you can see through the Mid-City Slack. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff, same as always every single year.
Yeah.
So are there some folks from what's it called, out in Seattle from Mid-City this week?
Yeah, I know that Becca and Mike are out there. I know that Rafi's out there.
They saw Dean today.
They saw him on the Space Needle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Dean's face, just like in Seattle, just all of a sudden seeing some random Charlotte folks like, wow, you guys actually flew out 6-8 hours out here you're on the Space Needle at the exact same time as me. Like, what are the odds?
By the way, for as much as MLS like hypes up Messi and stuff, I really wish the league would hype us up just a bit for how ridiculously good we are at our away support compared to every other team in the league.
I agree.
We go like we go to Montreal, we go to Seattle, we go to LA, we go absolutely everywhere. Obviously, we have more going to the Atlanta game, like the closer one, 2,500, whatever it was there last year. But our away support, it must be. We must have, in terms of numbers, we must have the best away support in the league. Maybe second, I don't know. Obviously, some teams are closer to
one
others.
Of the best. Yeah.
But we have insanely good away support, and I say that not just MCC members, but anyone that's Charlotte supporters that's listening. Like, we're very good away travellers.
For sure. Question, Chantry. Are you, because we've been asking everybody, are you getting a tattoo tonight?
No. I was.
Good answer.
So I'm so tempted. My wife would utterly kill me. One day I'm probably going to get one, but today isn't today. I was tempted to go up to him and like pay him $100 to say like, hey, if I'm off my face drunk later, you need to. I'm paying you to say no to me later on.
Just to make sure that you don't get one.
Why don't you, Corey, and Russell Varner all get together? Not tonight, but go get tattoos together.
I'll come join you as the experience.
One day. It's on my bucket list.
I don't know.
Today.
It doesn't sound like they're really into it.
So here's what I'll actually say is that you guys come down to Columbia. I've got a great tattoo artist
the country.
I went to. Not the country, Columbia, South Carolina.
It might as well be.
I was like, holy shit, that's a long way to go for a tattoo.
Come to Columbia, South Carolina. I've got a great artist that you guys can consult. And, you're already down there for an hour and a half. I'll just kidnap you and keep you down there until you get one. So you're fine.
I know my wife is going to get one of her own at some time soon, like a meaningful one to her.
Sure.
So once she's got that, then I've got a bit of like leverage to get my own one.
Get the Tim Ream man bun tattooed on you. Sorry. and we just kill the show.
Chantry's like, I'm getting out of here. We're done. I'm done.
Wait, are you saying the man bun is like tattooed onto the back of my head?
No, I'm just saying. Just get a picture of the man bun on your leg.
An insane tattoo.
Let's do some score predictions.
Yeah.
What do you think for tonight?
Especially now that Zaha's out. What do you think?
I'm going to stick with my original prediction, even pre-Zaha being out, which was 1-1.
Okay.
See, I'm still saying 2-1, even though I said Zaha scored both goals. I'm still sticking with 2-1. But now I'm going to say Brant Bronico scores one.
Yeah.
And Kerwin Vargas scores the other.
Baby Brant.
You got to get that dad strength in there.
Dad strength, dude.
Swift's still sticking. Well, Swift has changed it from a win to a draw to a win to now he doesn't even know what it is. So.
But by the way, I said so with Zaha obviously having his baby. Brant went from like never scoring to now, like, you had a baby in preseason, scored 3.
Yeah.
Zaha was at another level beyond that. He's had a baby. Imagine how
He's
good
going to
he's
score
going
80
to be.
goals this season.
He's going to break the MLS record.
Yeah.
So you guys hear it here tonight. Matt Chantry said Wilfred Zaha is going to break the MLS scoring record this year with Charlotte FC.
Based purely on his baby making abilities.
There we go.
This is great. I love doing live shows. We need to do this more often. This is great.
It's pure chaos.
It is. I just love how we have also just like house music in the background of what we're doing right now. So thank you for all the people who are watching right now. Thank you for dealing with this and sticking with us as well from that perspective. So James does say he was talking about Camille Uzviak from Granada is out with a groin injury, which I guess is pretty similar to what Camille did here, is that he was out pretty frequently with those from that perspective. James says 0-1 Charlotte. He says CLT will win.
Yeah.
Nice. So, hey, fans of the show, make sure you put on the chat what you think your score prediction is going to be. I know we asked earlier about, what player would you get in your kit, but, put your score predictions. Chantry, I know we've got a Ream kit already. With this kit here, would you get a name or a number on this one?
So my thing with every year is waiting for like someone to like jump out and is making sense to do it. So with the inaugural kit, when I didn't get anything for the first year at all, when Anton walks past, and I'm from South London, same as Anton, and he passed, and I was like, that's my reason to get Anton walks on my jersey.
Yep.
Last year, we signed Ream, and I hadn't had the name on the jersey at that point. I was like, obviously, I'm getting Ream.
That's a no-brainer,
So that's what I usually do is I wait for the one to make sense. And previously in my life with Fulham players, I was known in my family as like the jinx of whenever I got a player's name on my jersey, they left within like 2 months every damn time.
That's like Swift here, man. He gets Yuri, he gets Sergio. Who else did you get? Mackenzie Gaines. Like all these players are gone.
So if I get a meaningful one, even if they leave, at least it means something to me.
You don't have a Westwood one?
I actually don't. That's amazingly.
I'm like, wait a second. Westwood T-Gang doesn't have Westwood kit.
Yeah, you can get Westwood on the new one.
That's
Or the third kit that we're gonna get.
Breaking news.
No, everybody kind of knows at this point we're getting a third kit.
It's happening.
And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the theme of it.
No.
Y'all are lying.
No, I truly don't.
Corey wants the surprise. We can't do it on the air.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk offline.
It's like the season ticket member stuff. Like, don't spoil it for people.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I'll tell you what. If you get a tattoo, I'll tell you.
If you get a tattoo of what the kit's going to look like.
Yes.
Hey, there is an element that you could get. Never mind. Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk offline. Yeah. You'll like it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'm assuming. I don't know what it looks like. So, so Miami's losing right now. How much is How much is Don Garber right now? Super upset that Miami has a red card, and they're losing to NYCFC at home in Miami.
If Messi went down injured, I think Don Garber would just start crying in the stands.
But on the last episode, Chantry, we talked about 2 teams that would go up in the playoffs, 2 teams that will drop out. And what I predicted was Miami will not make the playoffs this year.
That is a bull. I don't like Miami. That is ballsy.
It's such a bold claim.
Listen, I didn't say it made sense. I just said I just hope that it happens. Okay.
That should be your motto. I didn't say it made sense. It's just what I'm saying.
That's how I get by in life.
We should have like one of your like wild takes an episode.
I think that's a sticker right there, by the way.
What? That didn't say make sense, but
you got to get a T-shirt or something.
Should be like shrugging.
I might work on that behind the scenes. So I am disappointed though that Zaha Jermaine will not happen tonight in our premiere. So I think Vaughn jinxed us a little bit in the last episode by saying Zaha and Patrick Ajermain will have a combo and become Zaha Jermaine.
Can we add Zabada in there as well, like Zabajabang?
Zabajamang.
Yeah.
Zabajamang.
Hold on, you can do this.
Abajamang.
There's a way of doing it. I've just not figured it out yet.
Abajamang.
Zabajamang.
Abajamang. So if you're listening to this, if you're still with us in the chat.
If you're still with us.
Then why?
If you're still with us, God bless you.
Yeah, right. But put in there, if you have a combination of Abada, Zaha, and Patrick Ajermain, from that perspective.
Zabajame.
Shabajame.
Yeah.
Zabajame.
So what comments we got there, Corey? Let's see what we got here. So.
Yeah, so we got Lad on Fire saying Big Pat to score and us to win 3-1.
Nice.
But he also says Pat and Wilf start hot,
But
which
Wilf's not playing tonight.
we don't
though.
have Wilf.
So Lad on
sorry to
Fire, I'm
break that
sorry.
to you.
Sorry, having fun.
Sorry, it's not our fault. It's him having a baby 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So,
By the way,
Willicus Maximus
that's
has
Max.
2-1 Charlotte.
okay.
I made this point earlier. First of all, I'll preface this by saying, obviously, Zaha should be at the birth of his child. However, I feel like this is the third or fourth time this has happened. And I'm pretty sure Dean Smith is going to start his Monday morning team meeting with the benefits of abstinence.
Yes.
So
You got to be celibate from these months.
So I was gonna steal your photo that you dropped in our Discord. Quick plug about So Lad on Fire. Sorry. So Wilfred Zaha did not travel with the team.
Yeah.
Because he is expecting the birth of his child. So he stayed in Charlotte from that perspective. But I was going to steal your picture you said earlier with the Michael Jordan meme.
I think that was Ashley. I suggested it and Ashley made it. I was too lazy to make
got
it.
it. Well, you shared it in Discord, so thank you. But I might steal that for Meme City Mondays, where it's Michael Jordan and it just says, "F those kids." So I might put that with like a Zaha Jermaine behind that or something like that. So.
Dean Smith's head behind it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
We should be getting lineups soon.
Yeah, we should. Someone said Zabajame. Zahabad. I can't say that. Sorry, Max.
Zahabada Ajame.
Doesn't roll the tongue like.
To be fair, I don't think there's any combination of that that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, we should be getting lineups here soon. So we're waiting for Swift to break the news of our lineup. So just so you know, our wonderful moderator admin of our Discord, Brandon Byerly, tweeted out one of the photos of Bogart's lovely flag here. He says it's quote unquote blowing up on Twitter. So I think it's getting lots of love. We need to get that in the stadium. Is that going in the stadium?
That will be in the stadium.
Yes.
I said this is my dream for the season. Atlanta first game. Zaha scores in front of the support section, runs over to this banner like behind the goal, and like arms crossed, like does like a really like cool looking like I don't care like celebration and like stand in front of it. That's my almost certainly won't happen, but it's my like dream for the season is for that to happen once.
I love it.
I love it. Go ahead and read what Ladin said here.
I don't know.
So we're not endorsing this. Ladin, thank you very much for watching this. But Ladin says, expecting is she in labor? If her water didn't break before the plane took off, he should be on it. So I have no right to say anything as have someone with no kids. So I cannot. So I think the guys all with kids here would all go. We would be in much trouble if that happened.
You don't miss that.
My wife would shoot me out of a cannon. if
she would send you back to England.
Remotely close to giving birth and I wasn't there. Rightfully so.
Yeah. So I'm not mad. It is what it is. But hey, at least he gets a premiere next week potentially in the bank for Charlotte FC. So we're getting pretty close here. I think Mr. Swift has to take a quick break for half a second here. So now it's going to get really wild and wacky because it's the Corey.
Dad's gone.
Dad's gone. So we get the kids get to play and stay up late. So. So I'm stoked that Miami's losing this game right now. 85 minutes, 2-1. I mean, look.
And their goalkeeper's like on like
playing
walkabout,
sweeper keeper like crazy. So yeah, it's not great. So the onside series, I want to pick your brain on this because I did watch a little bit of it before coming up here, but like. How does the league get to do more things like that? Because I think that's what I kind of expected the Apple TV deal and this, I guess, production to kind of create. And for me, like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I love behind-the-scenes footage. But to release it almost a full year after the season started that they reported on seems almost a little behind.
I don't think that matters too much. I think they're following the Drive to Survive. I think it might be the same guys as Drive to Survive.
Yeah, I haven't watched that, so I don't know.
And the point of that is like that they're basically trying to copy Drive to Survive, I think, and get like the people that don't care about MLS into watching and supporting it in the same way that people didn't care about F1, supporting F1 after watching Drive to Survive. Because with it, same as with anything, if you have an emotional investment in it, you're going to be into it more and enjoy it more and watch it more. So I think that's what they're trying to do. Do I think it's necessarily going to like catch on in year one? No, but I think you've got to do it 2-3 years and hopefully it eventually catches on. My one concern is that Netflix do a really good job of promoting stuff. Apple TV do a really shit job of promoting their shows. They have some really good shows on Apple TV, and a lot of people who haven't heard of them because they never get promoted.
Yeah. Well, so 'cause I guess what I assumed it was going to be like would be like Hard Knocks, right? Where it's like, hey, this is recorded, and then they make it within 48 hours, and then releases it. Like that's what. I mean, I guess because I'm an MLS sicko and I just really want to watch everything MLS every week, right? But like, because like, I guess that is what is missing from me on Apple TV is that weekly kind of engagement and production and shows. Like they have some pregame stuff, they have some postgame stuff. You know, the MLS Extra Time stuff is now gone, unfortunately. But like, that to me is what's missing is that engagement on a weekly basis a little bit from a league.
Yeah, they could definitely do with a little bit more. They need to it's a balance of like content for the casuals to increase their interest and to maintain the sickos' interest at the same time.
Sure. Corey, as a producer, what's your thoughts on that perspective?
Definitely not my background. But I was going to say that, like, Drive to Survive and all those Full Swing and all those documentaries on Netflix, they come out right before the next season. So you can kind of use that as a way to, like, get into the upcoming season. The release makes sense. And I think it's a good way to get people into the sport.
Yeah.
Because, Formula One, the only reason I watch Formula One is because of Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of those things like that where people will watch this show, get into the drama of it, and enjoy the league after that. So, yeah, great.
What do you guys think about the new MLS interleague trading rules?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I think as well what it's going to do is you've got like the rich clubs, the Atlantas of the world, like us obviously. Other teams have got more money, whether it be through ownership or incoming transfer fees that they've earned. They're then able to spread the wealth of that around the league a little bit more. So you can see the smaller teams that don't spend the money, the Colorado Rapids of the world, start to spend some money as well on international players that maybe they wouldn't have been able to afford to before. So it's gonna hopefully start to filter that money throughout the rest of the league, and you're going to start to bring like the league average up. As that starts to go, it's not going to happen instantly, but I think over a year or two you can start to see that happen.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because it's almost like MLS waits to make a rule change until it affects what their players are going to be, right? So like, think about David Beckham, right? And that's what created the DP rule. Yeah. All of a sudden this year where you had Evander and Acosta that was like, not happy with their current situations, want to get out of those teams, want to get traded. And in years past, like they couldn't trade those type of players in interleague, and all of a sudden, the league makes a new rule with the Players Association's approval very quickly because they want to make sure those players stay in the league and they can trade them, right? Which is great. Like, don't get me wrong, I want that to happen.
Yeah.
I just wish that the league would just be more proactive on this stuff versus
there
waiting.
needs to be some forethought instead
Correct.
of reactive.
Instead of waiting until like, oh shit, we don't want to lose an Acosta or an Evander type player. Let's go ahead and make this rule. And like, how can they make that how can they get the MLS Players Association to approve that so quickly versus anything else that's outside of the norm?
That's my thing about the league is that there seems to be a lot of business people, but not enough like soccer folks that can look ahead and see like where we need to be and make those moves. And again, like I think everything is very reactive, but there needs to be some forethought into like what we're trying to do. And the league, still kind of struggles and is very different than every other league in the world. But I'm a big fan of the new rule.
Thank you.
But by the way, for a second there, I thought Gusler was offering a child a fireball. I was a little bit scared.
Why would I do that?
Just to confirm, that's not what was happening.
No, I was getting a free sticker here. So I guess that was my question. Then my next follow-up question is, there's a lot of rumors about MLS windows and seasons lining up with the European windows and seasons. So Matt, as a person who follows Fulham, is from that very sunshiny, warm country of Britain. Do you like that MLS is talking about that or entertaining that per se?
I think it's a discussion that needs to happen. I think previously I was on the train of like moving to the European schedule, but I honestly go back and forth on it. I think it's a really hard call. I'm not sure that there's a right decision there. It's like at the end of the day, whatever. If it's the current schedule, you've got the teams in the south with the summer heat. That's a problem. If you flip it, then you've got the teams in the north with the winter. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not perfect. There is no perfect solution. Anyone that pretending there is killing themselves.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I wish they would I'll do, like forgetting about like the schedule, the way the season's built for a second, is ensure that the windows as best as possible align with the European windows and like the worldwide windows. And on the same kind of note, the international game weekends as well. I wish there would be a little bit more that the league does around that. Again, I don't know the perfect solution. I think they need to tweak that a bit, and I think they need to tweak where the transfer opportunities lie a bit. If they change the window to fall to spring versus winter to fall like they do right now, I can see both arguments there. I'm more thinking about the transfer windows, I think, than I am the game times.
Yeah, I agree.
So
we're all checking our phones to see.
We're checking to see if we got the lineup yet. But so I guess I think from a window perspective, having that window line up with European would be fantastic, right? Even Zoran said last year that they could have made quote unquote some deals happen if they were lined up in a more of an extended window. Yeah. Which this year I think is extended a little bit compared to years past. But
is it 2 weeks longer?
I think it's 2 more weeks, right? And so I think there's some benefits to that. But my biggest fear, and it's not so much the players' reason or the transfer reasons or even the weather reasons, because it is what it is. The weather is what it is. My biggest fear is that MLS would shadow what the Premier League window would be, that they are competing with all the American major sports and viewership. They will not be able to get that casual viewer into this ecosystem, because right now it's filling the void. Right now there's no NFL. NBA is kind of on the back side of it. NCAA football is not in the place. And think about here in Charlotte and in the South, what is king on Saturdays in the South? It's college football. It's the Southeast Conference. It's the ACC. Yeah. You are not going to be able to get those casual fans to put Alabama football or put Auburn football over MLS at that point.
I get that argument, but wouldn't that be the case? So at the moment the season ends December 10th, around then. So that we're kind of overlapping that a bit already. I guess it's the last 3-4 weeks that you're changing. It's one of the reasons that I think that might work is kind of I take a bit of the opposite approach to you there, is because if we did fall to spring, then the MLS playoffs and MLS final would fall May kind of time, which what happens then right now? Baseball early in the season, no one cares about that at that point. Too early in the season for
sorry, we've got
tattoos.
We've got a hooligan here with a tattoo. So
it looks good.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, but
that was Zaley.
Well, we got to pose for a quick photo real quick. We got a special guest here.
1 second.
Sorry, live show, but that's all right.
Y'all still live?
We are still live.
Let me show y'all something amazing.
All right. Camera's right here.
Woo! Thank you for giving me this. Thank you for this gift.
He said thank you for giving it to him.
Swift's going to hop back to his car on one shoe.
Yeah, y'all noticed Chico said instantly, give me my shit back. So, thank you, Chico. That's pretty sick, man. Appreciate it, man.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Get out of your event, sir. Get out of here.
Anyone would think he'd have been named after him.
Right. I'm checking to see if we got any lineups here.
I was going to say, I feel like last year they were
they were an out of.
Right there.
Look at that.
We're beating Seattle 5-0 tonight.
We're going to beat Seattle 5-0.
The blind
I love it.
prediction. Bold.
I'm good right now. Thank you. Yeah. So Zelly, who scores? Who scores?
3 Aggie men, no Zaha, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Abada 1, and then Vargas 1.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I like it.
For them. 0 for them.
0.
Nice.
Clean sheet. Hey,
5-0. What? That would be just
If that happens, I think we
go.
might lose Mike and Becca to Seattle, like the Hangover style. Like they just disappear into the night.
Terry from the Squatch. The Squatch
what's up,
Guard
Terry?
says for the crown, baby. So
Nice.
big kudos to them up there. They got some new alignments there on the east in the Appalachian FC. So they've got
That's
some pretty
We
exciting
could
things.
get the chance to play them in the Open Cup as well this year, which would be amazing.
Terry, I'm coming up to Boone in like 2 weeks. So I'll get with you on that.
He's coming. Oh, starting 11. You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So
Here we go.
So up top, Patrick Ajamain, Curran Vargas on the right side, Leo Labat on the left side. Pep Biel as the attacking mid, Ashley Westwood as our defensive mid, and Eric Williamson as our 8.
There it is.
Left-hand side, you've got Tim Ream, Andrew Privet, Alison Belanda, Nathan Byrne, and then here's the real shocker, Christian Kalina as a goal.
Wow.
I can't.
What a choice.
Damn it,
you
that's
know?
I don't know. I don't know if that'll work.
So
I'm surprised how attacking that is, first of all. I thought that we would maybe be a bit more solid in midfield.
That's what we talked about.
2 seconds before we start getting into analysis here. I just love that the team had to send a follow-up tweet immediately after that saying, Wilfred Zaha misses tonight's match with an excused absence due to personal reasons.
An
He's expected back. Like the fact that
Where's Zaha?
But there's so many people are like, Zaha playing? Where's Zaha? Zaha? That they
They know they
follow.
wanted. They were like, we do not want to see this. We're
Correct.
going to put this
Sorry.
out.
But go ahead, Chantry. So you're surprised by the attacking?
I was going to say, like, Charlie was thinking afterwards, no, the loan has been cancelled. There's no Zaha anymore.
Send them back. Send them back to Lyon.
I'm maybe slightly surprised by that. I do thought we'd maybe have like a more defensive midfield. I'm not saying that I'm against that, just that I thought Dean Smith would maybe play it a bit safer the first game of the season.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm surprised because our depth at the wing position's pretty thin right now. With Brandon Cambridge out, Zaha out, you're expecting Leo Labata to go 90 minutes or Curran Vargas to go 90 minutes or Pep to go 90 minutes because Pep would then is basically one of your starting backups at the wing position. So if he plays 90 minutes, you're subbing in Brent Bronico or Ben Bender, and then who's going to be put on the wing from that perspective. So it's going to be interesting from that perspective.
This is Vargas's opportunity, by the way.
Absolutely. We talked about that. You're absolutely right. It really is. Like, he probably didn't expect Zaha to be out. And, like, we've talked about this last episode, too. Like, here's his time to really be like, hey, I'm still around. I'm still going to be a factor. There's still Yuri Tavares, too, that you could sub in.
But he's also your backup to Patrick Osborne.
Yeah, who was on the bench, by the way.
Yeah, let's
okay.
see who the bench.
So, bench, I got it right here for you, fellas. Don't worry. Substitutions, Ben Bender, David Bingham, Brant Bronico, Diani, Petrovic, Scardinia, Smalls, Tokolami, and Tulima.
Yeah, you got Tukulami, you got Smalls.
I forgot about Tukulami.
So, I mean, you have some options there. So, it's not as dire. But, yeah, to your point, I thought maybe this first game on the road against Seattle, we might be a little more defensive-minded. But looks like Dean, and this was I was ready to see what Dean was going to do.
Yeah,
he's going to, even without Zaha, it's pretty aggressive. So we'll see how.
A bit of a kind of been in a no-lose situation as well the first game. Obviously, we want to get something out of the game today, but if we did lose like 2-1 or 1-0 or something like that, it's not the end of the world. The first game of the season, Seattle were a good team. So it's kind of like.
Sorry, you're hearing boos in the background because somehow. It's an 11-minute stoppage match for Miami. Of course. And Miami scored with 9 minutes into stoppage to tie the game with a man down. And, of course, little man there runs and passes the ball into the box.
Nice little dink over the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They still didn't win. So.
Yeah, whatever. Sorry. I just really can't stand Miami. So I'm surprised. I mean, Ben Bender gets on the sub list. So player
Yeah.
that
Smalls as well. 3 months ago, I would not have expected Smalls to be on there. He had a good preseason.
I'm more surprised by Bender than Smalls, honestly. I thought
Yeah.
Bender would be one of those players that would kind of like drift off, maybe go down.
USL.
Yeah, so, but again, like maybe he's doing well in practice, and
Sure.
maybe with Zaha being out, we have an extra slot.
Which he slides outside
Yeah.
sometimes too. So
Yeah.
kind of gives some depth there a little bit. Corey is enamored right now of the Miami goal. So the Barcelona junior pink kits. Yeah.
One quick question as well that I've been meaning to ask about Miami. Did they change their home kits last year and then again this year?
Yeah. Correct.
As opposed to all the rest. I
The
know
reason-
why
the
they've done
reason-
that is because they're going to sell 1 billion Messi kits. To
Well, the
kid who
excuse
runs
was because of the Club World Cup that they did that because they're playing in the Club World Cup. They got to make another
Just
kit.
be honest, guys. We
Yeah,
know exactly
yeah,
why you're doing it.
I'm so sick of Don Garber and his like talk,
Justifying.
And, like, just be upfront about it. Like Miami's gonna get 10 jerseys a year.
Rules don't matter.
Yeah, rules
Yeah.
do not matter. We'd be like, all right, fine. Or like, schedule congestion. Like, dude, just shut up. And
Schedule
like,
congestion. But now we're going to throw Open Cup, Leagues
yeah,
Cup.
just
I got a
just
text
stop.
from Messi last night. That's what the game is.
Correct. No, and then also like what is it? CONCACAF moving games so that way Messi doesn't have to play in the freezing tundra of Kansas City and things like that.
Yeah.
Like just ridiculous stuff, man.
You up, Don? I'm not playing tomorrow. Move the game.
I'm not going to play in -5 degrees. Appreciate it. I want to go back to Barcelona. So
All
yeah,
right.
but how you guys
ready
feeling? We're getting
ready to
pretty
wrap
close.
up?
You're ready to wrap up. So
Yeah.
Corey, any last final thoughts from you as the producer, so that way we can be as long-winded as we want. But score predictions, how you feeling?
5-0.
5, Zelly. You had the Zelly effect there.
Oh.
So.
Realistically, I think 2-1. I think I'm with 2-1 also.
Yes, sir. Who's going to score? Now that you know the 11.
And Pat. Bronico and Pat.
All right.
Bronico comes on as a sub, scores, and Pat scores.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I will stick with my 1-1. I'm going to say Westwood. I don't know everyone knows why I like Westwood, but I also I don't know. I've got a weird feeling that Westwood's going to score today. I don't know why.
Well, there you go.
Like it.
I'm going to stick with my 2-1, but now that I know the starting 11, I'm going to go wacky outside the box. You ready for this? Tim Ream scores.
Wow.
Is this like your Fuchs thing from the first
It
season?
is. It is. Off a corner, left-footed volley into the top corner. If that happens, I might go over that tattoo.
By the way,
You gotta get
wait,
tattooed.
I realised something.
I might.
So no one ever mentions that. So your prediction of like the first Charlotte goal scorer being Fuchs, who is a left back off a corner. The first Charlotte goal scorer was a left back, Adamana, off a corner. So
I
you
just
weren't
picked the
a
wrong
million
one.
miles away.
I was just I'm like 2
And you were
degrees
off-
away
and
from
you-
Kevin Bacon.
And you were
so-
off by a month as well. But
but it's fine.
Can we take these shots now that we're in the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
No.
No?
let's do it.
Okay.
No, y'all can.
Oh.
I'm not.
Oh.
Y'all go for it.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Do you think
So
we'll
I
get
think. So wait, before we do this, on record, one last time before the game starts. What's the
I knew
score?
you were going to ask me again, and I don't. Well, let me take the shot. I'll be able to be like,
Ooh, there
we're
we
going to
go.
win 5-5.
No, this is
5-0.
what cements it. So you got to say the score. You got to say the score before I cheer you. Get a nice little lift in there.
We're going to win 2-1.
Who scores?
Patrick and Abada.
Woo! All right, cheers to that, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Corey. I know you don't have anything, but yeah.
He's not getting a tattoo. He's not drinking. All right.
I've learned my lesson with Fireball, y'all.
Woo!
on that note,
So if we get kicked off of YouTube, this is why.
Tastes like Christmas. So,
Tastes like Christmas.
so
Yeah.
Christmas and
So-
shame.
I just want to say thank you to a few folks. One, Corey for the background here, for getting
Yes.
us set up.
Yes.
This amazing setup, microphones, producer extraordinaire, cameras, etc. Thank you. Thanks to Hopfly for having us here. Background, Chico, hosting this amazing event. Glory Days is here. And I didn't get a chance to get JD on here, but he's been wheeling and dealing over there on his tent. But Mid-City Collective, been great to have us here. Chantrey, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know-
Should mention as well, Mincy Collective members get 15% off of Glory Days.
That's right.
In store at our pop-up events.
I'll be heading over there here in just a second then.
Yeah, I got to get a shirt.
So kudos to that. Hooligans is here as well. Really awesome event from that perspective too. So, Swift, anything else as you caress your chest and pectorals before we end the show?
No,
So,
just thanks for hanging out with us for this
Yes.
long, and thanks just for all the support in general. I really appreciate you guys.
thank you. Quick plug: join our Patreon. Join
yeah.
it. Get in our
Should do that.
Discord. We had some great comments and questions in there, so really appreciate everybody joining that and the support. And then let's win for the crown, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it.
For the crown.